Welcome back, everybody. We took a break from SPDs in October because we had some great JPDs with Colonel Simmons and Lieutenant Colonel Poon. Now that we're into November, we're going to get back to developing our leadership by discussing growth mindset, a concept championed by Carol Dweck, professor of psychology at Stanford University. This SPD will distill her take on growth mindset. And by distill, I mean that I'm basically going to regurgitate her Harvard Business Review article from January 2016. We'll talk about what growth mindset is, what it's not, and how and why we apply it. Simply put, Dr. Dweck's article breaks down her research on growth versus fixed mindsets among individuals and within organizations. Her findings illustrate that individuals who believe their talents can be developed through hard work, good strategies, and input from others have a growth mindset. They tend to achieve more than those who have a more fixed mindset, those who believe their talents are innate gifts. This is because they worry less about looking smart and they put more energy into learning. When entire companies embrace a growth mindset, their employees report feeling far more empowered and committed. They also receive far greater organizational support for collaboration and innovation. In contrast, people that are primarily fixed mindset and at fixed mindset companies, they report more of only one thing, cheating and deception among employees, presumably to gain an advantage in the talent race. According to Dweck, in the wake of her findings, growth mindset had become a buzzword in many major companies, even working its way into their mission statements. But when she probed, she often discovered that people's understanding of the idea is limited. She goes on to illustrate three common misconceptions about growth mindset. First, I already have it, and I always have. People often confuse a growth mindset with being flexible or open-minded or with having a positive outlook, qualities they believe they've simply always had. This has been called a false growth mindset. Everyone is actually a mixture of fixed and growth mindsets, and that mixture continually evolves with experience. A pure growth mindset doesn't exist, which we all have to acknowledge in order to attain the benefits we seek. Second, a growth mindset is just about praising and rewarding effort. This isn't true for students in schools, and it's not true for employees in organizations. In both settings, outcomes matter. Unproductive effort is never a good thing. It's critical to reward not just effort, but learning and progress, and to emphasize the processes that yield these things, such as seeking help from others, trying new strategies, and capitalizing on setbacks to move forward effectively. In all her research, the outcome, the bottom line, follows from deeply engaging in these processes. Third, just espouse a growth mindset and good things will happen. Mission statements are wonderful things. You can't argue with lofty values like growth, empowerment, or innovation. But what do they mean to employees in the company when they don't implement policies that make them real or attainable? They just amount to lip service. Organizations that embody a growth mindset encourage appropriate risk taking, knowing that some risks won't work out. They reward employees for important and useful lessons learned, even if a project does not meet its original goals. They support collaboration across organizational boundaries rather than competition among employees or units. They are committed to the growth of every member, not just in words but in deeds, such as broadly available developmental and advancement opportunities. And they continually reinforce growth mindset values with concrete policies. Dweck writes that even if we correct these misconceptions, it's still not easy to attain a growth mindset. One reason why is we all have our own fixed mindset triggers. When we face challenges, receive criticism, or fare poorly compared with others, we can easily fall into insecurity or defensiveness, a response that inhibits growth. Our work environments, too, can be full of fixed mindset triggers. A company that plays the talent game makes it harder for people to practice growth mindset thinking and behavior, such as sharing information, collaborating, innovating, seeking feedback, or admitting errors. To remain in a growth zone, we must identify and work with these triggers. Many managers and executives have benefited from learning to recognize when their fixed mindset persona shows up and what it says to make them feel threatened or defensive. Most importantly, over time, they've learned to talk back to it, persuading it to collaborate with them as they pursue challenging goals. It's hard work, but individuals and organizations can gain a lot by deepening their understanding of growth mindset concepts and the processes for putting them into practice. It gives them a richer sense of who they are, what they stand for, and how they want to move forward. So that's about the end of Dr. Dweck's material. So my big question for you for our Thursday discussion, after all you've just heard, is how do we develop a growth mindset? And of course, the follow-on is how do we foster this mindset as an organization and in our subordinates? Now, a word from our sponsor. The holidays are nearly upon us. So if you don't want to go with the same old tired gifts, head over to offthewagonshop.com and find some innovative, humorous gifts for your friends and family. And another ad. We got a QR code now. We're super fancy. So head on over to the Double Deuce Cloud, mash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we drop new content. This growth mindset stuff seems like common sense, but the nice thing about Dr. Dweck's work is that she put the science behind it. Success is the result of effort, not something you're born with. Nurture versus nature, if you will. I find that encouraging and empowering. It eliminates the victim mindset where life is something that happens to you. With a growth mindset, you are in charge. And even if setbacks and successes, they both promote growth. I'm sure you could see how this would eliminate a lot of issues for our people, whether they be students, first term, or even us as supervisors. Think about how our organization stands to thrive if our people have this mindset. As the senior members of the squadron, let's think about what policies or processes we have or could implement that reward and foster a growth mindset. And let's talk about them on Thursday. As we've discussed leadership and perspective over the past few months, this topic is in the same line of thinking. So many issues that people have, as I'm sure you've seen, come from a misalignment of attitude, perception, or perspective. At the very basic individual level, if we can promote a growth mindset, then we can get down to true empowerment and actualization. After all, if we have people, or if we ourselves feel like the world is against us, that our fates are predetermined, that we have to step on others to get what we want, we erode morale, erode trust, and could very well find ourselves in a position where that outlook is rewarded. Conversely, if we support, encourage, and reward growth, collaboration, and learning, we'll be on our way to something great for individuals and for the Double Deuce. So there you have it, a breakdown of growth mindset and a couple homework questions to spark discussion on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you all on Thursday. See ya.